Did you know somewhere above 80% of for sale by owner listings end up on the MLS? Well, why aren't you taking advantage of that and getting more listings? I'm about to show you step by step and break it all down for you exactly how you can run the easiest for sale by owner program that actually works. I'm telling you, I'm going to dive deep into every single part of it. You won't have very many questions, if any, after this. Now here's the secret. It's more simple than you think. We really always look for the most complex solutions to our problems because it makes us feel like, hey, because it's complex, it must give it a higher likelihood of achievement. But the reality is, some of the things that we know we should be doing are so simple, but we don't know the exact steps in the exact order. So I'm going to break that down for you right here, right now in this video, how to get more listings using for sale by owners. And it's by far the simplest version you've ever seen, and it's one of the more effective ones as well. Now, before we jump right in, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We're always giving you the best, most relevant information on all things real estate, how to grow your business, how to scale it, generate more business, and convert it at the highest possible level. Because we at Real Estate CEOs, we run our businesses just like you every single day in the trenches, converting leads and building more and more value. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know if you are ready to follow a system like this. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you the opportunity to actually get our 8-week program that I'm going to show you. Now, this is not something that you would pay for. It's just simply some email templates that we use to educate sellers and put ourselves in the best position possible to get those listings when for sale by owners decide to sell. Okay, so let's dive right into it. But really, I need to check your head. Are you always looking for the best ways to generate leads and get more listings? Probably, and that's why you're watching this video. But the reality is, the more complex something is, the more likely we believe it will work. In other words, if I told you that you have this 16-step process and it's going to cost you $30,000, but you're going to get the results, chances are you'd believe me more than maybe your buddy who just at lunch tells you how they generate business. Because a lot of times we perceive complex things as more worthy of our time and more likely to work out. But in reality, when we really look at the best in the world that are executing at the highest possible level, what they realize is one critical secret. Simple solves the complex. So this is going to be a very simple process, but I'm not oversimplifying it. So a lot of times some people, especially on YouTube, will give you like just the real basic version, right? The 30,000 foot view, so to speak. And I'm going to give you some of that, but I'm also going to give you the exact details on how to do this, the exact script. And I want you to actually take it serious. If you want to take more listings, follow this system without changing anything, right? And see if it doesn't work. Now, here's the only problem. It's so simple to do that it's also simple enough not to do. If you've ever heard the book, The Slight Edge, there's actually a really good argument for what happens there. A lot of times we see stuff and it's so simple to do, it's also so simple to forget. And so what I want you to do is really take this serious. And if you're committed to getting more listings and you say for sale by owners is 100% something that I want to do, I'm going to show you this process and I'm not going to overcomplicate it. Now, I'm going to do a follow-up video after this where we've learned some stuff that works in to enhance this. But I'm telling you right now, this system is working for agents on the team, and I want to break this down for you in detail. So without any more build up, I'm just going to show you right away what to do. All right, so first thing you got to do when you're looking to get for sale by owner opportunities is you got to find for sale by owners. Right? Super simple. And now you got to understand that these people are people who sometimes hate real estate agents, other times they don't. But what they do see is that they believe that they are fully equipped to sell the house on their own. And some of them might actually succeed. And the better the market does in terms of being a seller's market, the more likely they are to actually get that home sold and kind of validate that thing. Now, you and I know that we have different tools and different strategy that could work better. And oftentimes, this is, statistics that we find online through National Association of Realtors, but oftentimes anywhere between 5 and 5.5%. But oftentimes sellers that work with an agent get 5 to 5.5% more than sellers that sell on their own. And so you can kind of say like working with a real estate agent, not working with a real estate agent. You might as well work with the real estate agent because they'll take all the information off your plate. All right, they'll take all the work off your plate without having to. So the argument goes, and it's super simple. Hey, if I'm going to end up selling for 5% or 5.5% less on my own, well, then I might as well just hire an agent for 5.5%, maybe 6%, whatever percentage, right? There's no set percent, but I might as well just hire an agent to do that, because not only am I going to end up netting the same amount, but I don't have to do all the work. Well, not everybody's ready to have that conversation. So this system right here is all about working on their terms and on their timeline, but putting yourself in the best possible position. So the first thing we got to do is we got to find the for sale by owners. Okay. So the two places that you go is forsalebyowner.com and Zillow.com. They have for sale by owners listed on there, both of those sites, right? So one of them is paid. You can pay to get more information out there, right, on different sites, but these two will pretty much cover all the stuff in your area. So you're going to go to forsalebyowner.com, look in your area. Zillow.com, look in your area. Now you just got to find their phone numbers. Now most of them are smart enough to know that they should post their phone numbers, and they also know they're probably going to get calls from real estate agents trying to list their home. So what we're going to do is we're going to work against the current of most real estate agents are trying to do with for sale by owners. Okay, this is going to be very different from what the average agent is saying to them over the phone, and then especially the follow-up process. So you're going to go there, you're going to get their information. Now I'm going to unpack the script for you. The script is extremely easy. There's only 3 critical questions in this script. So the script is very simple. Now I'm going to ask more than 3 questions, but these are the 3 critical questions. Is the house for sale? Are you willing to pay an agent? And when can I come and see it? That's pretty simple, right? So the call sounds like this. Hey, Robert, is this Robert? Okay, and Robert, you're the owner of 123 Anywhere Street, is that right? Awesome. So first I need to confirm that I'm actually talking to the seller. Well, I was curious, is the house still for sale? Now I'm going to disclose that I'm a real estate agent right now after I ask, is the house still for sale? Is the house still for sale? Yeah, absolutely. What do you got? Are you interested? Whatever they say. Go, well, actually, I'm a real estate agent, but hold on. I'm not trying to list your home. Right? Because immediately they want to hang up on you and go, bring me a buyer. Right? I go, but hold on. I don't want to list your home. I'm curious, if I were to bring you a buyer, are you willing to pay me as a buyer's agent? Have you already set that aside? Great. Do you know what, and this is like a subcategory or a subsection or a subset of that question is, great. Have you already decided on what that compensation would be? Now, I just want to know. The reason why is because they go, yeah, I'm willing to pay 2% or 3% or whatever it is. And I don't care what the number is, right? There's no set number. But if they're willing to pay that, great. I already kind of know where they're anchored at. Okay. Now, if they're willing to pay an agent, the next thing I do is just go, okay, fantastic. When can I come over and see the property? Now, here's where you kind of get some stuff that gets hairy. Now, if they just go, some of them, not all of them, some of them will go, well, I'm available today at 5, and then you just go ahead and book the appointment to show up and look at the property. Now, some of them might go, well, hold on. Why do you want to see the property? Do you have a buyer? Bring me a buyer. Right? That happens a lot too. A lot of times they're already burnt out. They've already heard people go, oh, well, I have a buyer and looking in the area and I want to come preview the property. I'm not going to lie to them. I do not recommend that anybody lies ever as a licensed real estate agent or as a human on the earth, right? So here's the thing. Here's what you say. Super simple. I sell a lot of houses in the area. We also generate leads frequently in the area. Now, if this is true, maybe you have a Zillow account, maybe you buy leads in the area, you run Facebook ads, right? For us, we go, hey, we buy a lot of leads. We get a lot of buyers that go to our website to learn about houses in your area. And because yours is not on the MLS, oftentimes they overlook it. And so I don't have anybody right now off the top of my head that's looking to buy your house in particular. But if and when I do, and I probably will between me and my team in the next day or two, I want to know what your house is like because I need to know about all the inventory, right? I need to know what it's like. I want to have walked it so that way if somebody does call me about your house, I already know all the details. I want to just check it out real quick. It won't take me more than 15 minutes, by the way. Now, this is the thing that I love to do. And here's my promise to you, Rob. I'm not going to try to list your home. I'm not going to come over and with some presentation or anything like that and try to get you to use me as your agent to sell your home. I just want to check it out and talk to you a little bit about the property and what you're looking for in terms of a sales price and an offer, right? In terms of price and terms. So what time works for you? I'm going to be in your area, and this is normally how we book appointments with sellers. I'm going to be in your area anyways between about 5 and 8. What time works for you? I'm going to be in your area between 5 and 8. That's when we like to do listing appointments, right? What time works for you? Great. Now we've got the appointment. Now we don't have a listing appointment. I have an appointment to go see the house and put eyes on it. And that's really the first step is I want to get belly to belly with this person. All too often, scripts are about trying to get them to understand why they should use me as their real estate agent, why they should interview me to be their real estate agent. Hey, wouldn't it be great? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not worrying about all that. That's so much resistance that I'm facing right now that I don't need to worry about. I want to get belly to belly with the seller. Now, I know what some people are going to say. That's wasting all your time, Isaac. You're just going to go drive around and drive across the county or drive across the city just to go look at a house with somebody who's not even agreed to talk to you about listing their home. At least get them. I totally get that. But here's the reality. Think about it this way. If I told you, hey, I can get you belly to belly with somebody who's interested in selling their home. Now, they don't want to sell with an agent just yet, but I can get you belly to belly with somebody who is interested in selling their home twice a week. Do you think that you would list more homes? The answer is absolutely yes. So anybody who tells you, it's a waste of time to go do that, this is different than maybe showing a buyer a home and they absolutely have no capacity to buy a house. That's very different, right? This person really wants to sell their house. So I'm going to go and talk to them. Now, here's the reality. I'm not going to try to convert them there at that first appointment. That's the problem. If you believe that you're going to go there and magically convert somebody who has all their defenses up, who is committed to being a for sale by owner right now, and you're going to convert them, I think you have the wrong expectation. Now, could it happen? Yeah. And if you're the best salesperson in the world, go for it. I strongly encourage you to do that. Now, the reality is, though, that's not what I'm going there for. What I'm going there for is to get to know them, to build rapport, just like I would with anybody I want to add to my database. And it just so happens that this person also has a house to sell very soon, right? So it's like you go to networking events across the county. Why wouldn't you go visit a seller across the county? I don't know. I don't think I need to labor the point anymore. Get your butt inside that house and meet that seller face to face. Got it? All right. So here's what we do. Now I'm at the appointment. What we want to do is we already go into it with 8 weeks. This is going to be an 8-week relationship because statistically, in the next 8 weeks, there is a high likelihood, higher than 70% chance that that home ends up on the MLS with an agent. So everything we're about to talk about in this plan is just to get us in the position to be that agent. The reality is there are times where you can follow this plan to a T. And then there's going to be this amazing salesperson who does book the appointment on the first for sale by owner call, who does show up and actually get them in their pipeline and list that home right out from underneath you while you're doing this plan. It's going to happen, but it's going to be the minority of times, not the majority of times. Okay? So trust me, because most cold callers that say, driving over there to meet somebody who doesn't even want to list right now and isn't thinking about listing with an agent, that's a waste of my time. Well, generally, they don't have a good follow-up plan either. All right? Now, that's where this is going to be really different. The fortune is in the follow-up. I'm sure you've heard this. So let's talk about this plan. But no, I'm going into this with an 8-week mindset. Okay? And I'm just going to position myself to be the person that they call in those next 8 weeks that go, hey, can you come over and talk to me about actually listing the house? I'm ready to have somebody come and do that. Right? I'm going to position myself to be at least one of the calls that they make. And that's all I'm really looking for. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to do the visit, and all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to view the house through the eyes of a buyer. I go, hey, listen, I'm going to set down my stuff right here on the kitchen table, just like a listing appointment. I'm going to set my stuff down here on the listing appointment. I want to walk through this house with the eyes of the buyer. So would you walk me through it real quickly? Okay, great. Boom, boom, boom. I'm walking through the house. Fantastic. Now, here's the thing. What has the action been like on this house so far? So I finished up my tour, and maybe during the tour, but certainly after, I'm going to ask a few critical questions. First of all, hey, so this is a beautiful home in a beautiful area. What's got you interested in making the move? Now, if it's a rental property, right, whatever, they're going to give you the information. I want to know why they're making the move. In addition to that, what I'm going to say is, okay, in an ideal world, when would you like to have this home sold? Terrific. Now, what brought you to the area in the first place? Oh, that's terrific. And where'd you come from? Awesome. And you said you're going where? Oh, wow. What's taking you there? Oh, yeah, that's so cool, right? I'm just building that rapport, but I'm also getting to know their motivation. Now I'm going to ask about the listing itself. Go, great. So when did you put it online? How's the process been? Like, what's the activity look like? Have you run an open house? How many showings have you had? Oh, okay, great. And any offers? Now, here's the thing. Sometimes people get a little pissed off because you're asking them question after question after question. Whenever you sense that, you have to remind them that, hey, just a reminder, it seems like I might be just bombarding you with questions. I'm really just interested about the house and your situation and the inventory in the market. And just as a reminder, I'm not here to try to list your house today. So if things ever get sketchy in there, one of the things I always remind them is I circle back to my promise. Hey, just as a reminder, I'm not here to list your house today. Okay, so I want to get to know some stuff, but I want to figure out what's the action on the house. Have they gotten any showings? Have they gotten any offers? Now, a lot of times they're also going to tell you, I got some offers, but it's these people lowball me. And I go, oh, yeah, some investors. A lot of times, and this is where you can build some real credibility here. If they've gotten an offer, potentially even accepted an offer in the past, but it was an investor offer, and you go, oh, okay. And they go, oh, yeah, we got an offer, but it didn't work out. And I go, let me guess, an investor? A lot of times they're going to go, yeah. You go, okay, so they probably gave you an offer exactly for what you were asking for, maybe really close to it. And then they said, yeah, we're going to close quick in 10 days, all cash. We just need to come by with our contractor to verify the condition of the property. And then they came real quick the next day. And then all of a sudden they're asking you for $100,000 because of the cracks in the driveway and all these other things. A lot of times that's actually what happened. And so if you can just kind of show them that, like, hey, I know how the game is played, that builds a lot of credibility with you. Right? They go, oh yeah, that's actually exactly what happened. These jokers came back with $50,000 in repairs and blah blah blah, and they asked me to come down off of that. So I told them to pound sand. Right? I don't want to play with those jokers. Right? And that right there, in that moment, you are now building rapport. Right? And you've built credibility because you understand that, and you kind of have shown, hey, I know how this game is played. I know what you're going through. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to give them any advice I can, any good advice. Okay, great. So, hey, just so you know, one of the things that we're real big on whenever somebody's looking at the house is, remember, the buyers want to. So, like, this is one of the tips we always give people, because most for sale by owners don't do one major thing that we tell all of our sellers to do, which is what? Declutter. Right? Or depersonalize. So one of the things that we show them, if there's pictures up still and all that stuff, we go, hey, so if you're open to some feedback, one of the main things that we tell our sellers is that you have to look at your house through the eyes of a buyer. And a buyer does not want to see pictures of your family. I know they're beautiful and this is something that you're really proud of, but they need to be able to see themselves living in it. And so anything that is personal to you, pictures, diplomas, sayings, phrases, right, paintings, those things remind them that this is not their house, and it makes it harder for them to visualize living there. And they need to be able to visualize that. So if there's one recommendation I'd make for you, and if we never talk again, I hope you get some value out of this, is that I would depersonalize my home. Now, that might mean you have to box up some stuff, and you think it's beautiful, but remember, they need to look at it as a fresh canvas for themselves. And give them any other tips. Hey, you know what? I noticed that this part, right? Maybe we can throw some mulch right here. It has a way of increasing the value. Did you know that garage doors are one of the number one places where people can see a better return on their investment, right? Because it has the curb appeal. Give them a couple tips. And if you don't know tips on best ways to get a house prepared for sale, go and learn some and be prepared to share that with them. Okay, it's a really easy thing because now you're leading with value. This is where we need to take a quick break and talk about the relationship equity account, because that's what this is all about. That's what all sales is about. That's what all relationships are about, is the equity account. Do you have that friend, that family member that every time they call, you kind of roll your eyes because you know they're going to ask you for something and they never give anything back in return? By the way, here's a secret. If you don't know somebody like that, chances are it's you. Anyways, so we all actually have, consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously, have this banking system in our head with every person with whom we have a relationship. And here's the thing. Banks, it works just like a real bank. I cannot go to a bank where I have never made a deposit and ask for a withdrawal. I can't go down to Bank of America where I don't have an account and go, hey, give me some money. Right? Well, I could, but I'd need a gun and a ski mask and a getaway driver. It's called bank robbery. I'm not super interested in doing that. Now, the only way I can make a withdrawal from an account, from a relationship, is if I first make deposits. So what I'm doing right now in this conversation is I'm making deposits in the relationship equity account. I'm getting to know them. I'm giving them advice. I'm establishing credibility and authority because I know what they're going through, right? And so that's one of the things I want to do is I want to give them some free advice. And I'm also at the end going to go, hey, you know what? I don't normally do this, but your house is amazing and I want to attract more opportunity in this neighborhood. And so I do this some from time to time where I would like to offer to market your house for free for an entire week and run an open house. Now, you might be curious and thrown off. I said I wasn't going to try to list your house. I'm not saying I want to list your house. What I'm saying is I'd like to market it and run an open house. I'd like to market it online, do my social channels, and run an open house with some signage this weekend. If that's at all possible this weekend or following weekend, if you haven't gotten any offers by then, I would love to do that. And now you might be wondering why I would do that for you for free. And here's why. Because you only have one house to sell, and a lot of buyers that come in are not going to actually buy your house. Not because your house isn't amazing, but because it might not be in the right school district that they're looking for. It might be slightly outside of where they're looking to commute. It might be just above the price point that they're willing to pay. It might be a little too much or a little too small of a house. And so just because they show up to the open house doesn't necessarily mean they want to buy this house. But you only have one house to sell. So if a buyer comes into the house and they don't want to buy this house, I want to sell them another house. And so it's a great opportunity for me to generate new buyer clients. In addition to that, it's a great opportunity for you because now you have a professional marketer marketing your house for an entire week for free. Now, here's a guarantee that I can make you a promise because I already see what's probably going through your mind, which is, well, Isaac, what if someone comes in and they absolutely do want to buy my house? You're going to go and try to represent them and get that commission. And in reality, you didn't really do that much. Here's my commitment to you. You can be at the open house with me now. There's going to be some parameters around that, around like what you can and can't say because, I'm marketing the property. But here's the thing. Here's my commitment to you. Anybody who walks in and goes, hey, I want to buy this house, I'm just going to pass them directly to you. Now, they might have an agent already. They might not. Either way, I'm going to step out of the way. I'm going to let you guys figure that out. Now, if you end up wanting me to negotiate and do all that stuff, we could talk about that then, but let's not worry about that. If someone walks in and goes, hey, I would like to buy this house, even though I'm the one who marketed it online and put up the open house signs and sitting right there, I can promise you, if on that day they show up, I'm just going to pass them right through to you. I'm not going to try to represent them. I'm looking for the people that, again, they love this house, but for whatever reason it doesn't fit for them. I just want to go sell them the next house. I'm trying to look for clients. This is a great way for me to do that. And so that's why I would make that trade-off. Would you be open to me marketing your house for free for this next week? Now, a lot of times you're going to get a no. You're going to get, no, let me think about it. Sometimes you'll get a yes, but the important thing is that you got to make that offer and let them know, hey, listen, this is a non-threatening way for me, a professional marketer, to market your house. And I'm willing to do that. And by the way, I've already given them some tips. I've made that offer. They go, no. And I go, okay, by the way, I know a lot of the agents in the area. So is it okay if I just kind of spread the word about your house through some of my private Facebook groups? I'm part of these Facebook groups. This is literally what we do now right now is I'll pull up a Facebook of my Facebook and go, look at, this is my off-market San Diego Facebook group. There's an actual off-market San Diego Facebook group that I'm part of, right? And people post, hey, I need off-markets or buyer needs only or whatever. And I go, listen, these are really cool things that it's pretty much a bunch of agents trying to help agents sell their houses. Would it be okay if I shared the details of your home here, right? And they go, yeah, that way I'm marketing to my agent database as well, not just my client database. And they love that. They always say yes to that one. All right, so great. Now I turn around and go, so thank you so much. I'm going to be following up, and I want to give you the time to think about that opportunity. Now, even if they say no, they go, no, absolutely not. I do not want you marketing my house. But, they're super skeptical of me, right, at that point, or of you at that point. You go, hey, listen, I'm going to follow up because I want to make sure you get this home sold. Hopefully I'll be able to be the person that brings you a buyer and we can just, work really well together in that capacity. And I'm going to be offering that opportunity to market your house for free when I reach out because you might have a change of heart. I would say, would you be offended if I followed up to continue to offer that free service? They usually go, no, I won't be offended. Now, the person that is offended, like, okay, cool, cross them off their list. You gave it your best shot, and that was a total waste of time. Except you got repetitions at the scripting, and you got another seller that maybe might think about you down the road. Now, before you leave, you want to capture, I already got their phone number, but I want to capture their email address. So one of the things is you have to figure out what you're going to offer in exchange for an email address. So here's what we do. We say, hey, you know what? One of the main things that helps a seller, our sellers, anybody, it doesn't matter if they're for sale by owner or a client of mine, that helps them understand what's going on in the market is to get an up-to-date, real-time snapshot of what's going on in the market, what's up for sale. In other words, what the competition is doing, what new listings come up, which ones went under contract, which ones finally closed. And that way you can make any adjustments. You might have to adjust your marketing. You might want to bump up or down your price, right? But you always want to know what's going on in the market. So I have this dynamic system called My Home IQ. This is what we use. My Home IQ that keeps you up to date on the equity of your home and all this fun stuff, but it also keeps you up to date on what's selling in the market. So I want to give you that. I actually provide this for everybody in the neighborhood as free anyways. What email address should I send that to? So at this time, hopefully they're going to give me their email address. Okay, that's one of the best things. But if you have something better, another item of value, please drop it in the comments too. Okay, but use something to exchange for their email address. It's really good stuff. Okay, so you want to get their email address. The reason why is because now it's time to follow up. Now we're setting our follow-up cadence and it's going to get to work for us. So here's what the follow-up looks like. I'm going to call them every single week. I'm going to call them every single week, and it's going to be on average about a 10-minute phone call. I'm going to break down for you why that matters. On average, it's going to be about a 10-minute phone call, and I'm committed to 8 weeks of follow-up. And the phone calls are really simple. Hey, Rob, what's up? It's Isaac again, that real estate agent that came by. Hey, I was actually just looking through my database. The first week, I'm confirming information. So I was actually looking through my database, and I wanted to confirm that fourth room, that was a bedroom, right? Not a loft, because I don't remember if there was a closet. I'm so sorry. By the way, I should have written that down. I can't find it in my notes, and I figured I would just call you. I was looking through my database of buyers, and I found somebody that might be interested, right? Now, I could say that if it's true. I'm not going to lie. Now, what I said was, hey, I was looking through my database, and I couldn't remember. I don't have my notes in front of me, so I figured I would just give you a call. Great. Oh, awesome. So, okay, so it was a loft. It didn't have a closet. Have you ever looked into like putting a closet in there and making it like a permitted bedroom? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the county could be a pain in the butt. Oh, yeah. Okay, totally. Well, by the way, any action on it? Any new updates? Nope, totally get it. Hey, you know what? I got to bounce right now, but hey, have you given that whole me marketing it for free for a week? Any more thought? Nope, I totally get it, man. I'm going to get out of here. I'll follow up with you next week. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye. That's it. That's all I want to do. I just want to get that, and I want to offer that value up. Right? Now, Isaac, let me take a pause real quick. Isaac, what happens if they do take you up on that? Great. All you do is you post it on Facebook, say, hey, I'm going to be running an open house. You maybe want to throw it on Caravan, whatever it is, and then you're going to run the open house. You're going to run the open house the way you've always run an open house. Now, if you want to learn more about how to convert better at open houses, I have a YouTube video that breaks down our proven open house system that, we talk about everything that we say at the open house and all the follow-up. But in either case, you want to do that and honor your word. If someone does want to buy that house, pass them through to the seller. And maybe you just lost an opportunity. But chances are, if you're doing the right things at the open house, before the open house, during the open house, after the open house, you're going to be able to convert some buyers and sellers from that. But that's a whole different topic. So anyways, week 1, I'm just going to be confirming some information, checking in with them. Week 2, I'm going to reach out again and just go, hey, I've been meeting with other sellers in the marketplace, and I just wanted to see how things are going, because right now we're seeing some action, and I want to just describe the market. So week 2 is describing the market, what we're seeing. Now, if you're seeing a slowdown and days on market going up, you're going to tell them that. If you're seeing things move faster, you're going to tell them that. Just go, and I wanted to get a pulse on what's going on with your house, because I have a really good pulse on what's happening with the houses that are listed on the MLS. And I want to understand the whole market, because let's be real, what's on the MLS isn't representative of the entire market. So I figured I'd give you and everybody else who's trying to sell their house on their own a quick call to get a pulse on what you guys are seeing and see if that lines up with what we're also seeing in the market. We saw a 15% increase in foot traffic over the last open houses. Whatever statistics you have, days on market's going up and down, you get it. But I'm going to do that. Week 3, I'm going to call them and go, hey, listen, I know the house has been on the market for a while, and it's been a few weeks since we've met. And I'm really interested in running that open house for you and marketing this property. Now, the reason why is because your neighborhood, this is where I kind of start building in FOMO. Your neighborhood is a really sought after neighborhood. Now, let's be real. If they live in a neighborhood that's not so great, it is a sought after neighborhood for investors. If their neighborhood is a great neighborhood that's really sought after, then they'll get it, right? It's a really sought after neighborhood. So selfishly, I would like to actually spend some money to market your property for that week, because I can not only get some buyers, but I also want an excuse to go knock on the doors of your neighbors who might be also thinking about selling their house, because the market is moving really fast in your neighborhood, because it's so desirable, because of X, Y, and Z, right? But I want to let them know, like, dude, your neighborhood, I want to be in there any way I can, even if that means spending some money on marketing your property, right? Weeks 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is really just checking in to see if there's been any action and like, hey, I'm just doing my job. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get silly with the scripting. Okay. It just sounds like this. Hey, Rob, giving you a quick call again, dude. You know me. I'm nothing if not boring and consistent when it comes to doing my follow-up calls. How are things going? Now, in week 4 and 5, that's when I'm going to start really saying, hey, listen, Rob, we've had the conversation. Things aren't moving along. By now, I'm sure you've gotten a ton of real estate agents that have called you, and they've made you all the promises in the world. I'm curious, has anybody been as consistent as I have in following up with you? Chances are they're going to say, no, they haven't. Well, I don't know, Rob. Have you spent, has it even crossed your mind to interview an agent like me to sell your house? Now, that's the exact same script that a lot of the other agents are using, but they're using it one time. They're using it on the first time. They're blowing their ammo in the first call. I'm doing this after providing value, right? So that's what the phone calls sound like. The next week, I'm just going to call and go, hey, Rob, it's me again. You haven't told me to stop calling you. I just want to make myself available as somebody that's here to help you, whether it's 3 days, 3 months, or 3 years from now with all your real estate needs. And by the way, have you considered what it might look like for us to partner up and me to list your home? Have you seen what I do? Now, this is one of the other ones, right? And you can use these interchangeably. It doesn't have to be on week 4 or week 5. But one of the other questions you asked him was, hey, Rob, I know the market's moving this way or that way. And by the way, have you seen what I do for my clients to get their home sold faster for their more money? Have you actually seen my marketing plan? Now, oh my God, I'm so sorry, man. Through all this, I do my best to not try to be like this pushy salesperson, but I probably didn't even walk you through that. When's a good time for me to show you that? They go, hey, dude, I thought you said you weren't going to list my home. Well, Rob, come on, let's be real. I wasn't going to try to list your home. I thought your home should have sold by now. So what I'm looking at is your home not selling, but I think if we saw and we took a look at my marketing plan, I think I could show you why it would sell if you decided to hire me as a full-time marketer for you. Notice I didn't say hire me as your agent. I said hire me as a full-time marketer for you. This is a different pattern than what they're used to hearing. Okay, so now I'm trying to get that appointment. Now here's the other thing that should be happening in the meantime. And every call after this, now I'm just going for the appointment. Now I'm using the for sale by owner scripts, right? And I don't think I need to get into too much of that right now, but those are the things I'm going to talk about. Hey, when are you planning on actually interviewing an agent to see that? Have you had a chance to look at what I do to get my home, to get my sellers the most amount of money sold in the fastest amount of time? Because Rob, you told me you wanted to be in your next house in Nebraska with your grandkids by the holidays, and man, we're getting really close. When's that right time when you're going to give me a chance, buddy? I'm going straight for the throat in weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8. But here's the thing that's also helping me. So for those 8 weeks, I'm also delivering 2 emails a week to Rob, to the for sale by owner. Okay. And those 2 emails are tips on selling your house. And it's all the tips that you know. Get great photography, stage, declutter, depersonalize, curb appeal. Depending on what season it is, maybe I have one that says, here's the things you do to prepare your house to sell in the summer, in the winter. People love looking at houses decorated for Christmas, right? Those are things I'm giving them home selling tips, right? I'm giving them pricing tips as well. So in this, and by the way, if you're interested, book some one-on-one time with me. I can walk you through what we do, and I'll actually give you as a free gift our 8-week follow-up plan for sale by owners, where we do talk about hey, did you know that one of the number one reasons that people are not looking at your property is because you might be pricing it wrong? We all know this. Pricing strategy really matters when it comes to getting eyeballs on the property. And so I'm going to even teach them that over these 8 weeks. I'm going to be delivering those emails so that they can see me and I'm building authority. And in each one of them, I say, book a one-on-one consultation with me, right? So I can walk them through that. So I'm adding value on how to sell their home. In weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8, I'm going straight for the appointment. I want to list your home. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. I'm not expecting you're the best salesperson in the world. I'm not expecting that you know how to handle every single objection. What I am saying is that if you did this consistently and you got in the house and started this process for 2 for sale by owners every single week, I can pretty much guarantee, can't actually guarantee it because I don't know you and I don't know how likely you are to adhere to the program, but I could pretty much or virtually guarantee that you will at least get 1 listing a month. Because think about that. That's 8 people that you're following up with consistently. That, let's be real, half of them are going to tell you to pound sand, drop dead, In week 3 and 4, they're going to go, I knew you were, just trying to list my home. But then other people are going to go, dude, you've given me some real value. You've been more consistent than any other agent that's called me. You have been on top of it. You've been depositing into our relationship equity account. Obviously, you're not going to use those words, but that's what it is. It's just building that over time and demonstrating you're a competent, helpful agent. But again, on those phone calls, starting in week 4, I'm going for appointments. But 5, 6, 7, and 8, I'm going super sharp angle, just like anybody else, except I'm adding value along the way. If you do this consistently and start this program with 2 for sale by owners every single week, you're going to start taking listings. You're going to start taking listings. You're going to get more repetitions in how to do it. You're going to get inside of homes. You're going to know those different things. Now, here's the other thing. If you also want to get enhanced results, that's when you're going to start using things like mail, pre-listing packages, right? You're also going to start honing in on, can I run open houses in the area, right? So that I can overlap and they can start seeing my marketing. So that's one of our ninja tips, is like, go try to find another listing where Rob, the first sale by owner, might drive by all your mini billboards, also known as open house signs, on a weekend. And then you go knock his door and you go, hey Rob, I was just in the area, I'm running an open house for one of your neighbors down the road. They're getting it sold and blah, 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 right? Because now they know I'm super active in the area. In addition to that, I'm going to start knocking on doors in the neighborhood. There's a lot of other things we can do and enhance this so that Rob consistently sees me there. Now, another thing we do to enhance this is not part of this like simple plan, but in the next video, I'll break down some more details on what we do to enhance this. It's going to be a little bit more costly, but thanks to LPT and the listing power pack and the open house and the prospecting packs, we have a lot of these resources already available to us. So we're now using them. Things like every other week, we write a handwritten note card to them, thanking them for their conversation, or just saying that we're thinking about them, wishing them the best luck, right? And then once we get into weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8, that's where you go, hey, Rob, just really want to thank you for your time, and also put it out there that I believe that we would be a great partner for you. We love marketing homes in this neighborhood, and if we can get together soon, please give me a call at this number, right? So these are different things that we do. Now, you can start enhancing that also in that 8-week tips for selling houses. What we do in the last 2 weeks is we really just start marketing ourselves. What we do differently, why people are choosing us. We send out a testimonial as well. So that way they start getting hit up with like, okay, not only are you giving me tips, but now you're proving to me competency. So we have a whole 8-week program where we send that out. They're getting 2 emails every single week. They're getting a phone call every single week. I'm doing everything I can. Every other week they're doing handwritten note cards. We're trying to run open houses in their neighborhood. And what's crazy is, or maybe not so crazy, they end up calling us and go, hey, all right, cool. You know what? It's not going the way I thought. Can you come over and show me what you're going to do? And by the way, I'm only willing to pay this much. We go, hey, don't worry about that. We can talk about commission when we get there, Rob. I'm just glad you called me, man. I really want to help you get this home sold. I feel like I already have such a big vested interest in the sale of your home before I'm your agent. I mean, can you imagine what it looks like when I'm incentivized to sell your home for you? It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I'll see you Friday at 4. Guys, don't overcomplicate it. I know this was a long video and I talked through very specific things, but I just need to give you the freedom. I need to give you the power to say, listen, this doesn't have to be that hard. Taking listings doesn't have to be that hard. I don't have to be this silver-tongued salesperson that handles every single objection in the moment. You're going to be better the more you do it, and you should learn how to handle objections. You should learn how to be the best salesperson in the room, but you don't have to be in order to actually get listings using this simple system for sale by owners. Now, if you want to learn more about processes like this where we make it super simple, it's a super simple plan, make sure that you book some time one-on-one with me. Go into the description below. I'll show you how me and my partners at Real Estate CEOs can show you how to sell more real estate and maybe even expose you to some better tactics that we're using as a part of our entire platform. So until next time, let's keep thriving in real estate. Go out there and crush it.